Boom. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the stream today, Sunday stream. I've been wanting to do one of these, another stream, of course, for a minute. And here we are. How's everybody doing? I see Bart K. Just keeping the audience happy, Bart. Appreciate that. Welcome Wild Style, Tiana, Clown, Vane, Zap Blast, Tanks, Zombie Teddy. I know you were over there in Primal Edge's stream, which will be going on about an hour and a half. So make sure you guys check that one out. Unless I'm still streaming, of course. Look at this little wild hair right here. Let's get that taken care of. That's going to bother me. Okay. Whew. How's everybody doing? Let everybody pile in. Just say our salutations. Guys, I have a tweaked back right now. My back hurts. It's like I have vegan injury right now. Thank you, Bart. Thank you. I try and do the hair for the guys who just don't have it anymore, you know? I had a hat on. I was going to rock this hat, but had to say no. I said, this is my opportunity to make a good impression on a new viewer, you know? I can't just slack on that. Let's throw some product in there. Spice it up. What's up, Amina? You've been going hard on the streams today. Watch Bobby in the morning. You're full time. What's up, Sam? Honest, Joe. Planetary Farms? Whew. Who's the hat? Today, I want to get intimate today. Today is just a connection day, me and you. We're going to talk about whatever. I threw up a couple things in the title that we'll discuss as time goes on. There's no hurry today. We've got plenty of time. We have no guests scheduled. Who knows who might pop in? Who knows? If Durin Rider decides to show up in the chat again, we'll bring him in. Why not? I have tentatively set things up with Bart and Durin Rider. They have both accepted a debate with each other. Durin Rider requests. He DM'd me after our last stream. He said, get me on with any of these guys. I'll debate Saladino. I'll debate Vegan Gains. I said, how about Bart K? Bart K, like, to me, if we're going to have a debate, if it's going to be anything scientific, Bart K. He's like the champion at the top of the list, you know? Like, if you had a fight to the death, Game of Thrones style, and you had to choose one gladiator, otherwise you were going to die, I'm choosing Bart K. Just flat out. Now, Durin Rider might not be the best spokesperson for the vegan side, but that's not my problem, all right? I'm putting him in with the wolves. Feed him to the wolves. Bart, I bet we'd connect with a lot of off-topic stuff offline, if you know what I'm saying. I see a lot of the stuff you've been posting on Facebook. It's pretty funny to me. Pretty entertaining. Really Organic says, I keep almost eating meat. Can't find any that is high quality. Just get the factory farm meat. Trust me, it's high quality. You're going to feel fine. I'm so over the hype, the chemicals, the sprays, just you guys are making it so hard on yourselves. You live, as far as I know, you don't even live near factory farms. Just go get some grass-fed beef of any quality, eat it, and then judge the results. You know, we're results-based around here. Results are what matters. If you eat it and you feel good, and it tastes good, and you can afford it, that's it. She's not vegan. She's like vegetarian-ish, right? You eat eggs and stuff. She's been really organic for a long time, guys, and it all makes the difference. Okay. Fine. I mean, even Bart K does grounding every night. He hooks an umbilical cord up to his ankle, and then he ties that to the ground. So, I mean, if Bart K is grounding, I don't know. Guys, I don't know. There's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of things that go into the puzzle. We need to ground. We need to eat the grass-fed, perfectly grown beef. Just eat the meat. Planetary Farms knows what's up. Just eat the meat. I'm going to McDonald's and I'm getting the meat. And it's going to be fine. Just trust me. The meat is that powerful. Redheaded Princess. Hey, Drew. Are you still vegan? Because you've been watching a lot of content lately. It's making me wonder. You've been trying some secret eggs behind the scenes or what? Makes me wonder. Clown Mazard says, who's the best vegan gladiator? Ooh, good question. Oh, man, the best vegan gladiator. I mean, okay, by default, my mind goes to Vegan Gains because he's done the most debates. But I feel like there's blueprints to beat him. Like he's done the same arguments so many times. If somebody comes along and they just watch some of his videos, they can beat him. I think Bart K would beat him, like, handily. So, besides him, who would be the other best vegan gladiator? See, the thing about the vegans is not a lot of them have enough fight in them to even really come up with a hard argument, a hard edge, a hard line. Like the guys with the best results, in my opinion, from the vegan side, physically, performance, all that stuff. To me, it's Brian Turner and John Venus. And it was Derek Simnett, but I don't know if you guys have seen Derek Simnett lately. He's not looking too good. He's made some videos recently, perfect lighting and stuff. He looks okay. But when you see him just out and about, standing next to John Venus, they're at these events and stuff like that, not looking the same as he was. I'm just saying that right now. But Brian Turner, John Venus, they look good to me. John Venus's, could be John Venus's brother. Hey, I'm glad you asked that question. That could be a good debate, and we haven't seen too much of him in the debate sphere. He's a doctor, handsome guy, tall, sexy. He's got the results. He thinks he has the science. I think that would be maybe the best one. We'll see. Bart, what do you think about that one? Tanks, I like to play, says, I am now sure if you would know this, but Bart K, Nutrition Watchdog, if I could ask you something. Okay, go ahead and ask away. You just duped me into reading that. By the way, guys, if you want to tag me and you are, obviously, if you guys donate something, I'm going to read it on stream. But if you guys want me to read the chat, make sure you tag me just so that I can actually pick it up, because sometimes the chat's flowing, and I can't get to it. So there's a lot of stuff popping up, though. T-Tribby, get lamb. It's generally grass-fed and good quality, even at the supermarket. I've heard lamb is better quality in general than beef. I haven't really tried it. I don't really like the flavor of lamb. Maybe it's the way that I cooked it. I know people that are obsessed with lamb chops. I think it's what you grew up eating, more so. Emily says, my days of questioning if animal milk is better than plant milk is over. It's a no-brainer. Why buy overpriced nut or grain water? Plant milk is just not milk. Let's just say, just because it happens to be white, it's not milk. Happens to be fatty and white. Interesting coincidence, but it is not the same thing. Really Organic says she tried grounding and it's effed up. I always read things in your voice. In my head, anyway. Honest says, when will the Bart and DR debate happen? I don't know. They're both in the very far time zone. They kind of operate around this time, so I'm thinking I can get them on around this time. Maybe set it up for like Wednesday, perhaps. I need to set the ground rules. This isn't just going to be any normal debate. It's going to take some homework and some research. I'm going to have to actually put forth some effort and come up with questions. I could put it out to them and say, hey, you guys come up with the questions, but then it's going to be a lot of back and forth setting it up and agreeing on everything. I think that I can be unbiased enough to ask an appropriate list of questions, and I need to also set up some sort of timer buzzer thing. I've been looking into it so that I can host debates on my channel where I can actually mute people. And because, there's going to, come on, Durin Rider and Bart K, there's going to be some interjections. So we got to come up with some rules and all that stuff. I can't just throw them in the cage and expect things to work out. That's not going to happen. So I'm taking my time. I'm going to make it legit. Similar, we did a whole science experiment. We had a vegan do 30 days of carnivore on this channel. We're not going to just be hosting debates that will be trash. We need to have some legitimate debates held. Unless I'm talking to Ted Carr or something, then, take the gloves off, baby. Take the gloves off. Eli says, I think that DR and Bart would be a blast. He would be willing to banter with Bart a bit. Yeah, they're going to be a lot of banter. But when it comes down to the scientific questions, maybe we'll have some breaks in the middle or something like that. But I'm thinking of coming up with like a list. And I used to have a list. I should probably read this to you guys. What do you guys think about this? I used to have a list created in case I interviewed a vegan on my channel. And yeah, so I was kind of prepared. And Bart, if you're still there, or you guys can let me know the feedback on these questions. So, this is a vegan interview checklist that I came up with. If I ever was to have somebody on my channel that was a vegan. Number 1, do you acknowledge that there are long-term healthy meat eaters? What makes them different? Number 2, do you acknowledge that there are unhealthy long-term vegans? What makes them different? Why do you think some people are able to better perform on a vegan diet than others? What makes them different to each other? Number 4, what specifically about consuming animal products, disregarding ethical concerns you the most? Number 5, are there any conditions in which you would consider eating animal foods superior to eating plant foods in any way? Number 6, do you consider a 100% whole foods plant-based diet with maybe the addition of B12 and tofu an acceptable long-term diet for all people? Have you ever tried this? Meaning, have you ever actually tried a 100% whole foods plant-based diet, no protein powders, no supplements, besides B12? We'll let them have their B12. Number 7, what are your results without digestive enzymes, any supplementation, or vegan protein powders? Number 8, if you had to design the optimal vegan diet, what would it look like? Number 9, when it comes to raising children on a vegan diet, what are your thoughts? Number 10, how do you feel about fruitarianism or raw veganism? Do you think it creates ex-vegans, even though long-term vegans still exist who have experimented with those things? You guys got to remember, Durin Rider and Freely both experimented with water fasting, raw veganism, fruitarianism, and the list goes on. They've done it all, and they're still vegan. So why would those things create ex-vegans? That was the big vegan argument for a while, if you guys remember. They've kind of let that go for a bit. And number 11, what are your thoughts on water fasting and juice fasting? And then last, number 12, if you had to estimate how many people who go vegan end up staying vegan for the rest of their life, what is the main reason they quit? So there you go. That's my dirty dozen. That's 12 questions that I would ask any vegan trying to interview on this channel. And I don't see many people comfortably making it through that list of questions. It's basically a gauntlet of death. How can you answer those questions all the way through? And it's not really meant to stump them. They're legitimate questions. I am genuinely interested in seeing the psychology of vegans and why they think the way that they do. I mean, I was a vegan myself, 4.5 years, right? So, I get it. I get when you're deep in it. But how can you be seeing all of the latest stuff the past 2 years or so, the people coming out, being ex-vegan, etc., and just completely turning a blind eye to it? You can't think that they're all full of crap, right? You guys are talking about Durin Rider's hair. Listen, the Durin Rider hair I love it. I love it. It's so funny to me. It's so funny to me. I think, he said he was trolling, but I went to his channel yesterday and he's got like every single one of his videos is rocking that hair. So, I don't know. Real Organic says, Mike is sore. Mike, the vegan, is sore because Dave Asprey said that anyone raising their kids vegan is guilty of child neglect. That might actually be true. We don't know for sure that that's not true. I don't even think vegans can say for a fact that that's not true. Let me think. So out of my friends from Hawaii who had children, newborn children, they were all vegan at one point, and they either stopped being vegan before their kid was born, and of course their kid wouldn't be vegan after that. But there are a couple that I know that do raise their kid as a 100% vegan, and they've just gotten out of the breastfeeding stage at this point, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Unfortunately, it's kind of an experiment. And I do know of some failed vegan children as well, like terrible tooth issues, blackened teeth. Their teeth actually were like falling out. Not good. Really not good. And they immediately got their kid on some animal foods and supplements and stuff like that. I'm not a big fan of supplements, but like if your kid is literally losing its teeth, come on. Durin Rider's wig looks like my natural hair. I got the Durin Rider's wave. That thing is just like a big old wave. I think he could have done a better style. That's just my opinion. He can consult me if he wants to up the style a little bit. Come on, DR. You're pushing what? He's over 40 now, right? Looks like an 18-year-old wave, like some kid that's wearing a Gymshark outfit. Planet Sleaze, I'm going to be using number 8 as a primer to dismantle some bullshit in the future. Yeah, I should pull that back up. Yeah, I like that. I like that list. It took me a little bit of time to come up with that, but honestly, they're just like, boom, right off the top of my head. Number 8, of course, what he's commenting on is, if you had to design the optimal vegan diet, what would it look like? So that is a good one. I do like that one. Zombie Teddy, Freely needs to experiment with shock therapy. Man, there's so many therapies, hypnotherapy, angel work, energy work. There's so many things these days that you could get into. I'm not the biggest believer in everything, all this stuff that's popping up. There's just too much of it. People just trying to make money, basically. That's the way that I look at it. Like, take it down to the basics. It's always crazy to me. There's people that have like 60 pounds to lose, but they're taking supplements. Like, your priorities are really backwards. And that's obvious. There's no real argument to that. Really Organic. If anyone tags me, I can't see it because my screen is red blocking blue light. What are you... Oh, man. You're self-imprisoning yourself. But anyway. Redheaded Princess, that would be fun to answer. You need to do one of those call-in shows and have vegans call in and answer. That's a good idea. I like that. Vegan Gains, Will in his own stupid way. Has anybody been following his content lately? Vegan Gains? Ted is who I'm mostly fascinated with right now. I'm going to probably watch some vegan YouTube with you guys and watch some Ted Carr videos because I am genuinely curious what he's eating. I talked to Bobby's Perspective this morning and he said that Ted is eating cooked potatoes for gains. He's already eating a high carb diet and then he goes to cook potatoes. Like, that's a terrible idea. Bart K with the $1 NZ donation. Thank you, Bart. You didn't say anything with it. Planet Sleaze, I feel bad for misguided vegan parents, but then you have glib POS like Monami Frost giggling about ignoring science. I mean, look, let's keep it real here. that woman, she may be nice. She may be good intentioned, well intentioned. But somebody like that, you can see their physical appearance, and people are going, yeah, don't judge people on their physical appearance. I've met a lot of people, guys, and people who look like that, their children are going to struggle regardless what diet they're eating. So the fact that that poor kid's on a vegan diet, even worse. That she's like 5 steps back now. WT says Durian wears a hairpiece to keep his head warm. He's anemic. Well, it's summertime there, so maybe he can take it off. Now he's going to be sweating it up. Really Organic says, I side with Dave Asprey on most things. I don't dig Mike the Vegan at all. He just seems angry and irritable. My sister is raising her kids vegan, and their main staple are rice and soy milk. Shaking my head. Rice and soy milk. Ugh. The worst things. Well, rice is carbs. Like, can't be too mad at that. Basically like eating sugar. But soy milk. I mean, I was on the soy milk heavily as a vegan because there's no other way to get protein or gain weight. And it did help. But I mean, my digestion was destroyed. But that could have been a number of things. I never really figured it out. Was it the soy milk? Was it the peanuts? I'm pretty sure it was the peanuts. Was it the fruit? Was it the omega-3 chia seeds I was putting in every smoothie? What was it? It probably wasn't the berries. That's one of the only things that I ate that was actually inert. Why would anyone risk making their kids vegan? Exactly. That's what Stool Sample says. Eli says, I still have never met a true vegan in my entire life. Many plant-based people that refeed actual nutrients frequently. Then again, I'm in the Midwest, not Hawaii. Yeah, the trend is to call yourself a vegan. The trend is to call yourself plant-based. And most of these people are not actually 100% legitimate long-term vegan. They don't actually do it. Oh, I try to be vegan. Oh yeah, it's really hard to get cheese out of my diet. Really hard to get eggs out of my diet. And then casually, they'll claim that they're vegan. They'll call themselves vegan. It's just not the way that it works. If you're vegan, you're vegan, right? You do not supplement with eggs. You do not supplement with butter. You do not compromise on these things. That's why this term plant-based is used so loosely. It's ridiculous. Tiana says, so happy I've come a long way since quitting veganism. It's been 2 years now since I quit. Congratulations. It's been over a year since I started eating meat again. And the crazy thing, I've been losing touch with the way that I felt as a vegan. I was starting to recently question myself. Did I blow things out of proportion? Whatever. You know, you kind of like, if you're a reasonable person, you like to compare things. And I actually watched my my 5-year vegan to carnivore video today, and I forgot half the stuff that happened to me. And I watched that video. I was like, oh yeah, I'm not going back to that ever, ever, ever. I saw my pictures. I saw what I said. I heard what I said. No, bullshit. Never going back to that diet. Ooh, we got the 5 New Zealand cruising in. Thanks, Bart. Let's check it out. What's Bart got to say? Good questions, Drew. Everyone super chat now, please. By the way, Leo Venus has already agreed to do a debate with me and then ran away. Yeah, another guy that might be good would be Mindful Diabetic Robbie. What do you think about him? He has previously agreed to come on my channel and interview with me. He canceled last minute. I don't think he ran away. I think he had some genuine things that he had to handle, but that's another option. I'm just wondering who we would get the best value out of. Who's gonna really, put up the best fight, so to speak. Because Durian Rider, we already know where he's coming from. As entertaining as it will be, I don't see it really standing up to any type of third-party critiques. It'll be fun, and don't get me wrong, we'll do it, but there may be somebody else who is more deserving, let's say. Anina says, can we see how lean you got? Actually, that's a good idea. Let's pop that up right now. I wanted to show this video because I think people actually forgot what I look like at the time. Let me Let me... There we go. This one, I'm going to be covering my journey as a 4.5-year vegan from start to finish. It's going to be somewhat of a quantum. Let's diagnose this here. Soy boobs, little sad soy nipples here. Okay, no neck, no shoulders. Keep in mind, I was working out a lot, all the time. I made so many more gains when I came back to California. Was eating 100% carnivore. And then was doing the same exact workouts, pretty much, calisthenics only, from my garage. Made a lot more gains than this. And I look small here, and I weighed almost 10 pounds more than I do right now. Soft. Look how soft this is. I'm going to try and keep it as short and concise. Most what you eat today affects your health. Oh, here we go. 15 pounds. Look at this. Let me shut my my little thing here so you can see it. Okay. Check this out. So over here on the left, you can see my cursor on the left side. This is me at 155 pounds or so, give or take a few pounds, let's say. Look how small my neck is. Look how small my shoulders are. Small my arms are. But look how fat my stomach is. Did tons of enema. Look at that. Look at that that crease. So fat and soft. That was eating raw tofu. And keep in mind, I was a cyclist at this time, so I was actually in really good cardiovascular shape. But as soon as I slowed down on cycling, I got all fat like this. Crazy. Then I did the juice fast, and I did the vegan, the 30 days raw. So 60 days later to the right. And this is how I looked after that. I lost a lot of fat, but I also lost even more muscle that I didn't have to lose. Like I wasn't in any shape to be losing muscle at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, pretty horrendous, if you ask me. $1 is 50 cents or less American. LOL. Thank you, Burke. That's not Bart's fault. Let's see. I don't watch any vegan YouTube, but I might watch a minute to get horrified. Well, you don't have to necessarily watch vegan YouTube. You can watch some of my old stuff. Dude, crazy. High Carb Hannah, husband Derek. What would you say about them, Tanya? You want them on the debate, or do you want to watch some of their YouTube? I haven't seen them in a long time. So what says, why do you say Ted's change from raw high carb to cooked was worse? Because you think fruit-based is better? By the way, I don't think he eats potatoes, just other starches. Okay. Well, I don't know what he's eating right now, so that's what I want to actually look into. That's why I want to watch his channel a little bit. So I don't know what Ted's eating, but I was told that he's eating cooked potatoes. And if he's doing that in order to get more calories in, that doesn't make any sense because potatoes are arguably the worst carb source. They're so calorie dilute. You only get 300 calories per pound of potato. So for 225 grams of potatoes, you only get 300 calories. That's nothing. Oh, sorry. 450 grams of potatoes gets you 300 calories. That's terrible. That's like, if you're going to eat, what do you call it? Cooked food, go get some like totally processed stuff if you're trying to get on some extra mass. Hardly recognizable back end, doing significantly better now. Veganism is a fast track to the Nate Diaz body. It's kind of like the same thing. I mean, it's like, to me, and the way that I feel now, no comparison. Ooh, Q9, another donation, $5 donation, coming in hot. Try grass-fed. It's okay, but factory till next year. But wild pig and boar are so good. Dr. GF hot me like what I saw. What? Doctor's girlfriend. Okay. Okay. Well, you like the pig. Okay. You're on the swine. I can respect that. Grass-fed is good, and it does have a higher level of nutrition, and it does make you feel a little better. But factory farm meat does do the trick. I will say that. Thank you for your donation. You do well on Grinder. Perfect twink look. Thank you, Civil Serp. Now or before? You think I could still hang? I hope. You can pretend you're the gay actor Ben Whishaw on Grinder. Don't know who that is. But thank you for the compliments. Eli the Science Guy. Damn Drew. Oh, we already read him. Nagiv. Athlete. Ted is eating super simple. Quinoa, things like that. Okay, see, quinoa, I can get behind quinoa a little bit. I'm not sure that it's great for the digestion long term, but I can see it benefiting somebody like Ted in that case, for sure. Because you can kind of like sprinkle a cup of quinoa on your salad or whatever, and it will definitely boost the calories and be a little easier to eat. Emily Moon says, not true, Drew. Potatoes are awesome. They digest so well for me. It's not just about the calories they have, and okay to good mineral content. Okay, well, that's fine. But I've noticed the potatoes are on and off for me depending on what I'm eating with them. They may digest terribly. They may digest okay. I still don't know the magic combination to it. Sometimes I eat them. Sometimes they're fine. I don't really know what's going on with that. Could be the way that they're prepared. If you guys caught Sean Baker's guest last week, he had a guy named Dr. Let me see. This is actually really interesting. Where's this guy? He's got a title called Hey Carnivore Idiots. I love it. Don't know where Sean Baker's interview went with this guy, unfortunately. But anyways, he just interviewed a doctor who went down to South America to specifically study the way that the indigenous people there cook and eat their potatoes. And it was really interesting. So they go through insane processes to either ferment or to consume their potatoes. So even though they cook their potatoes, they consume the potatoes with clay from the earth, because the minerals in the clay bind to some of the negative minerals and oxalates and things like that in the potatoes and allow the potatoes to be consumed safely. And they eat a lot of potatoes there. It's like their primary source of calorie. So they literally consume it with this pasty clay, and they eat it, they dip it in the clay, and they eat every bite with that. Interesting, right? These are in the Peruvian mountains, really high altitude. The potatoes are particularly toxic in their region, like all potatoes are, he says. The potatoes that we eat in the normal culture or whatever, he says that most of the toxins are bred out, but they still have a lot of negative aspects to them, negative chemicals like oxalates and stuff like that. So it's not like they're 100% perfectly fine, but the way that these people prepare them down in the indigenous tribes is wild. So like one of them, like I said, they do the clay, and then the other one does, they actually put like hundreds and thousands of tons of potatoes into a giant crater in the ground that they dig up, a huge hole, and then they cover it, and they let it ferment for 6 months, and then they consume those potatoes. That's the length of process of, pre-eating that you need to do for those type of potatoes. And people think that we actually evolved on these things. There's no way. We learned how to eat these things. We didn't evolve eating these things. There's no freaking way. Resting Bitchface says, buy a cow, have her bred, board her somewhere close, and make butter, kefir, and yogurt for 10 months out of the year. You'll be happy. Good advice. Thank you. Emily Moon, Tribby, so you consume dairy daily now. Yeah. How are you guys feeling about the dairy? I think we should get into some of the questions that I talked about. And let's see here. So, Q says, during writer girlfriend, hot, me like what I saw. Yeah. Natasha? Hit me up. When the Durin Rider thing goes south. I got plenty of good bike trails here in California. Let's see. So what says Ted eats quinoa, pumpkin, squashes, spinach, and he thinks sweet potatoes, maybe other stuff, don't remember. Should we watch a little Ted Carr? Maybe we should. Civil Serpent says Matt has started posting videos again on his channel if you didn't know. Yeah. Word in the street is Matt's been sick for a long, long time, and he's been eating animal foods to help him heal. Me and Bobby watched some of his content today. Cracking up, man. Like, the dude is literally on his deathbed. Literally on his deathbed. Or just returned from deathbed. And he's selling his supplement. Like, dude, take some time off. Heal. Your body is messed up. You're on an IV. You're admitted to the hospital against your will. You're not in a... You shouldn't be selling a new product. Get the hell out of here. Emily says, I admit that when I was just coming off of veganism, my stomach could no longer take potatoes for a while. My go-to potatoes and beans was destroying my entire digestive system. Oxalates build up, I bet. Yes. There's a sort of like, what would you call it? Cumulative effect that goes on with a lot of these things. Like, you can eat some of it and there's no effect. But then you break the threshold and then you're terrible. Today I hit my limit with coffee, for instance. I can have 1 cup of coffee. It seems to be okay. No issues. As soon as I hit that 2 cups, I get all jittery, and then I'm basically running to the toilet. So, yeah, it definitely triggers some sort of IBS or something. Bart K says, potatoes belong to the deadly nightshade family. Poisonous alkaloids, not as bad as nightshade, but I'll still pass on those. Thanks. Yeah, same. I just avoid them. If I'm eating burgers or whatever, I usually don't eat fries with it, French fries, crisps. T-Tribby says, maybe they eat potatoes with clay because it's not convenient to be pooping 5 times a day. So then they build like a concrete tube in their colon or what? That would be pretty uncomfortable. I think you'll be okay, WT. I'll enjoy a short life. I eat 1 potato a day. Redheaded Princess says, how tall is Natasha? She strikes me as bisexual. I'm going after her too. I don't know. I don't know how tall she is. She doesn't strike me as bisexual, though. Sorry to burst your bubble. Is that what you do? Are you into chicks? All chicks? What's your female height threshold? Yeah, go ahead and Civil Serp. Go ahead and hit up Charles Marlowe. How's he doing, by the way? How's Charles doing? Charles Marlowe. Haven't seen him in a while. Rosalind76 says, did Matt say he was eating animals? I don't think he's public with that information yet, no. Phoenix says, Drew, if you saw a vegan on the street, would you try to educate them or let them figure it out themselves? It is not my duty to educate vegans. I don't care what they do, to be honest with you. If somebody wants to be vegan, plant-based, mostly plant-based, I do not care what they're doing. What I care, where I draw the line in the sand, and the whole purpose of my channel at this point is to give people who are suffering under the vegan regime a support system, a network of intelligent people who've been there and done that and have their back, and let them know that it's okay to not eat this food anymore if it's not serving your body, and that others like you have healed and gotten better after leaving veganism and after consuming animal foods, a high amount of animal foods. I like to just be an example and have results as well. I want to be bigger and stronger. I want to have the John Venus physique. I'd love to have that. I'll probably never have that just because of genetics, but I'm always playing with my training and I'm always playing with my diet. But I definitely feel very good eating the way that I do, which is a mostly carnivorous diet. I've said it many times. It's funny, people try and pigeonhole me. Drew, you're not even carnivore. I've heard that in the vegan comments. You definitely market yourself as a carnivore. No, I don't. I've never said that I'm a 100% carnivore. I always say I eat a carnivore-like diet. It's not that crazy to me. It's not necessary to me to eat a 100% carnivore diet. You can get away with a little carbs, like I eat buns with my burgers. I'm not going to avoid condiments, ketchup. This is ridiculous. And I think it's important to be honest about what it is that you are eating so that people have a accurate representation of what people are doing. Just like how I think it would be unfair for somebody who's 95 plant-based to claim vegan. That's not fair. Civil Serp, Drew's going the scenic route for that peen. Clown Mazard, dairy is the same as plants. You need to prepare it in a certain way or ferment it. Butter, cheese, ghee, or kefir are all good. Yeah, so I'm going to get into after I read this next super chat, I'm going to get into the topics that we presented today. Ooh, not until I read Redheaded Princess's comment though, because I'm into this. I'm into this little sachet you have going on with Natasha. Q9, thank you again for the $5 donation. Okay, goat milk is the best effing thing for you, hands down. I grew up on this stuff, and cow's milk, all grass fed. Do factory milk now. White people who don't, boomer. I love decoding your messages. Very cryptic. So let's get into the milk topic. Actually, I wanna go there after I read Red-Headed Princess. Yes, I'm into chicks, and you'd be surprised how many girls are bi with the right girl. Wink, wink. I like tall girls, 5'6" and up, but I'm 5'8", and if they're taller than me, even better. Okay. All right. You sound like you take control. Q, help Drew out money-wise. Hey, appreciate the donations, man. You're keeping it alive in here. Appreciate that. Tiana says, yeah, I'm not eating carnivore diet anymore, and I'm doing good. Yep, you're not falling apart either. Just like you didn't fall apart when you left veganism. And the cool thing about carnivore is the people who promote carnivore are cool with people not eating carnivore. Like, they're realistic about it. Some people do have to eat carnivore due to some issues that they have, but that's not the norm. All right, let's talk dairy. All right. So I was incorrectly blaming dairy for my digestive issues lately, because I had a long period of time where I had perfect digestion and I was consuming a lot of milk. And I didn't realize that really what was happening was the caffeine overtook me and was messing my digestion up. The caffeine that was jacking me up. Because I got like re-addicted to energy drinks the past 4 months or so. And I was way, way, way overdoing it. So it's actually the energy drinks' fault. I was blaming the milk, because I've been off the milk for a while and my digestion didn't go back to normal. So now I'm back on the milk. Digestion seems okay. Significantly lowered the caffeine. Things are a lot better. So, okay, so we're done. So let's get back to the Redheaded Princess and Natasha. Let's talk about this, guys. I never thought about this. Really Organic says, if y'all steal Natasha from Durian Rider, I'd like a shot at the rider. She says. But he is hot. HOT capitals. So is Ted. Sorry, LOL. Okay. Really Organic. Hey, I'll step right out of the way for you and Ted and you and Durian Rider all you want. Hey, if you want me to set something up with Ted, by all means. Believe me, Ted is a very active man. So, hey, let me know. I'll set it up. He's very picky, though. People don't know about Ted Carr. Let me tell you. Actually, I can't tell you, but Ted's a wild man. Really Organic says, Monster can be a monster on your belly. Yes, and colon. Yeah, don't forget the colon. The monster on the colon is terrible. Keo, yeah, I did not get the boomer thing. I'm not a boomer. I'm tech savvy, okay? 34-year-old tech savvy. I know about computers. Tank says, how do you know if you have a problem with dairy? Do you guys have an immediate reaction or it takes a day or 2 or 3? So in my experience, anything that you're going to have a bad reaction to is going to happen right away. So like if it doesn't happen within 12 hours, you probably don't have an issue with that food. Just saying. Just saying. Nathan says, kefir is great for my digestion, but it's super addicting. Homemade kefir from raw milk is too good. I can drink two. Hey, if it's addicting and it's healthy, then all the more reason to consume it, in my opinion. Why don't you? What's wrong with it? Are you gaining weight or something? I would just be smashing it down. What's wrong with that? Carnivore diet can be used as a tool for healing. It's unnecessary if you can digest some carbs. Yes, agreed. It is unnecessary. That's correct. Not that it's not good. It's just overkill. Let's call it overkill. Carnivore is overkill in most cases. That's what I would say. Planetary Farm, no vegan men for me. You know what? I like that sentiment. Really, I feel a little disrespected that you want the vegan men. I can't stand for that. I can't stand for that. What if you guys made a vegan baby with that vegan, you know? I don't know. She says, Ted may be too young for her. DR and I very close in age. Yep. Civil Serp, you thirsty girls just go for Drew. He's single. Yep, you heard it here first. It's not breaking news. Been single for a couple months. No. I promote their. You know what? Thirsty girls. That's good. I like to be surrounded by thirsty girls. They don't need to necessarily be thirsty for me. I promote it. I promote their thirstiness. Share it. We could talk about that here. This is an all-encompassing channel, all-encompassing topics. We can break free of the diet stuff if we need to for a little bit. Ted is at too high vibrational level for me. Exactly. Ted's on one. What's up, Haleman? How you doing, bud? Dude, Haleman. When you were eating that liver in front of the vegan psychos on the steps, and that gang member looking dude was just eyeballing you down, bro, and you were just eating that liver, loved it. He's like, oh yeah, bro, make sure you swallow that. Swallow that. You're like, yeah, I'm eating it. I'm going to swallow it. Don't worry. Oh yeah, delicious, huh? Delicious. That was crazy. Tiana says she's thirsty for girls too? Damn, what's going on in here? Do I have like the freak channel? The freak viewers? Michael Kaufman says, how much weight have you gained since starting to eat meat? I have lost 5 pounds and I have not gained it back. I've gotten stronger. I'm basically as strong right now. I won't say as I've ever been, not in every lift, but in some lifts, I'm as strong as I've ever been in my life. And I'm like 20 pounds lighter or more. So, kind of interesting. Isn't health coach Kate from Australia too? Yeah, she's from Canada, but she lives in Australia with her boyfriend. Haleman, I think it's Haleman's first time on the channel. Or in a live stream anyway. Thank you, Really Organic. Planet Slee says, I want to eventually reintroduce some vegetables, but don't know which. All I've had since I started was some sauerkraut a few times. Take your time. Take your time. You know, when I first transferred back over, I was eating steamed kale, and I was eating that with my meats, and I liked it. But I noticed that I was actually getting some little pokey stomach aches for a bit. It did not feel good. So I actually cut it out. I stopped having those pokey stomach aches. Zombie says, vegan men are soft like tofurkey. Love it. Resting bitch face. I raise both dairy cattle and dairy goats, lifelong dairy girl. The number one important thing about dairy is that it needs to be local, pasteurized, and in season. Pasteurized, homogenized milk is garbage. So the milk that I buy is lightly pasteurized. It is local, at least to California. I don't know anything about milk being in season, but I do notice that they started selling gallons again recently. So I'm thinking that they have an abundance of it now, because for a while they were only selling the small quantities. So I'm not sure. So what says, is really organic even a girl? Yes, she is. At least her voice sounds like a real girl from her channel. Ooh. Keo, 9. $10 donation. Let's keep the Durian Rider, Natasha. Yeah, let's talk about this. This is more interesting to me than anything else we could possibly talk about. Natasha? Oh, yeah. Durian Rider's girlfriend can't handle real meat from you, Drew. Boomer's a meme. Yes, I know that, by the way. Okay, so any milk with sugar added to it gives me diarrhea. What about you, Drew? I don't think any of the milk I'm drinking has sugar added to it. And as an additional little piece of information, when I drink regular factory farm milk, it gives me constipation, if anything. So I don't even bother with it. It's every time. I can't even handle like a glass of it. So I don't mess with it at all. But if I drink that lightly homogenized stuff and also raw stuff, it seems to be no issue. And again, I don't have sugar issues anyways. So, I eat candy sometimes. I don't have any issues with that stuff. With processed carbs, I don't have any issues with it. If I'm going to have any issues with carbs, it's going to be the whole foods. Because those goddamn, the fibers, bro, the fibers. Man, we got the audience popping off right now. Hellman, any tips on bone marrow? I'm trying for the first time tomorrow. I saw your one vid eating it. Yeah. Give us some info on the bone marrow, bro. Hellman says that guy in the video wanted to stab him. That guy looked legitimately mentally ill. Like something was wrong with him. He was a criminal. Let's just say that, criminal-minded. Joe Pearson says, one of my kids is a couple of years older than Drew, so can't go there. I'm 34. Your kid's 36? Wow. Impressive. Stool Sample says, my dick wouldn't work when I was vegan. Wow. Same, bro. It happened to me. It did happen to me. Flatline. Never happened before and ever since. But it did happen. And it was embarrassing. Let's just say that. Planetary Farm says, what? You can't admire someone's beauty without being thirsty? LOL, whatever. Yeah, you can admire people's beauty without being thirsty. Like, even guys. Like, I'll even acknowledge that other guys are good looking. No problem. I say it all the time. Like, if I see a good looking dude, I'm like, damn, good looking dude. Shit. I need to step it up. RO is definitely a woman. Agreed. Single for 11 years now. Had sex with 25 girls since then, waiting to meet a carnivore. So you were single for 11 years, and then you had sex with 25 girls since then. When did you stop being... Oh. Since you've been single. Got it. I'm an idiot. Clean. That's a pretty decent number. You're averaging what, a couple a year? That's healthy. You know, you're not a total sleazebag. Not that I have an issue with that, but I'm just saying. Elman says, Drew, did you have any problems with pork tapeworm after fruitarianism? How do you think you got them? Did they stop you from gaining weight? No, I didn't have ever any worms or weird shit like that. I had one stomach illness, still don't exactly know what it is. Undiagnosed stomach illness as a vegan. I didn't have health insurance and I was in Hawaii. And I didn't trust really the local hospital anyways there. And I just was being stubborn and didn't want to go. I thought it would go away. I thought I had like some sort of I don't even know what I thought, but it lasted a whole week, and it was one of the worst pains that I've ever experienced in my life. But I don't think it was tapeworm. My best guess is salmonella. You know, we had geckos running around our house all over the place. They poop on everything. Like, it could have gotten into my food supply somehow. Disgusting, but that's probably probably what happened. It was awful, though. But yeah, I don't have any experience with worms. I've never heard of anybody getting worms. Nobody I knew in Hawaii had anything like that. Out of all the vegans that I knew for 2 full years there, I never heard of anybody getting tapeworms. So sorry, I don't know. In season milk means summer when cows are eating grass. All right, got it. Now I know more. JG Lee, what's up, man? How you doing? Picture or you're a dude. She's very private. She's very mysterious. She's in every live stream, but we don't know what she's really up to. Real Organic says, there are big dairy farms not far from me, and they smell so disgusting. Drove by one today. Yeah, dairy farms do smell really, really bad. I used to live in Chino, which is over here in California. It's famous for having dairy farms and houses right next to each other, and the whole place smells absolutely terrible, especially during certain times of the year. And also, the flies are terrible. Like, if you leave the door open for more than 10 seconds, you'll have your ceiling covered with flies. Really crazy. Vegan Gains. Oh, Vegan Gains recognizes health coach Kate from way back in the hockey days. Been recognized by the glorious Lord Vegan Gains. Right. T Trippy says, I'm single now too. Now I'm looking for a hunter, farmer, or butcher. Would you think a butcher would be like a sexy job? There's actually a really high-end meat butcher close to my house that has they were hiring for a while, but I can't see them paying more than like $14 an hour. And all the dudes in there, their forearms, they look like part of the pig. Like, they're just so buff, such strong dudes. There's no way that I can swing pigs around and do all that stuff all day long like those guys. Really Organic says she's in hardly any live streams. Well, I guess you're in mine. You drove by Chino? Oh, so you're in Southern California. Yeah, there's a lot of farms there. Uh-oh, so you're close to me, actually. You're not that far. 45 minutes away. Haleman saying you can eat, I'm assuming you're talking about the bone marrow. You can eat raw bone marrow if you want. You never had a problem. Cooking the bone marrow tends to melt it away really quickly, so you eat it raw. I have never actually messed around with bone marrow or anything like that. Really Organic says, the manager at my co-op was telling me today that farmers on dairy farms are getting MRSA viruses with big sores because of all the antibiotics they give the cows. Ugh, that's disgusting. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that like a factory farmed animal is giving such a bad rap to the rest of the food supply, when we know that like a grass-fed healthy cow is just like the best thing you can eat, and raw milk is like the best thing you can drink. But then people have these isolated incidences of these factory farm cows or whatever, and it kind of puts a blanket blame on everything. So I think almost all people have various parasites. A great parasite cleanse that has been around for 20, 30 years was just rated by the FDA a week ago. I did it a few times and seen physical proof in toilet. Yeah, I don't know about those parasite cleanses. Because I was all addicted to researching the parasite shit for a while. I was convinced that I had some sort of digestive parasites. I was researching, like, who's that guy? Gino. He sells a bunch of supplements, these herbs, these expensive herbs, Dr. Morse, all these guys. And I'm not buying it, man. I think those supplements that people take, they coagulate in your colon and you end up pooping stuff out that looks like worms. There's just no way that everybody has like dozens of worms in their colon. It doesn't make any sense. Because those things are not very well documented at all. by surgeons and people who are actually doing these colon surgeries and stuff like that. So there would be a lot more information on that from the medical profession. That's not very cryptic or mysterious stuff. Like, you're looking at enough people's colons, you're going to start seeing a lot of worms, and that they're just not seeing that. Oh, got it. Really organic. So you don't live near me. You just drove by Chino. Oh, it's near you. Got it. Hellman says, Drew, how long were you vegan? And was there anything you struggled with after quitting, like gaining weight, building muscle, digestion? So I was vegan for 4.5 years, and I didn't struggle with gaining strength, but in terms of building muscle and getting bigger, I've noticed that without the use of carbohydrates, it is a challenge. So I'm working on that still right now. But as I've thrown milk back into the equation, along with all the meat that I'm eating, I'm thinking I'm going to be gaining weight pretty shortly here. So literally, I haven't gained a pound since I went vegan last year. Or sorry, since I went carnivore last year. And you asked about digestion. Digestion has been amazing unless I overdo the caffeine. So that's actually part of what I wanted to talk about today was long-term carnivore digestion, because there's these notions around that the vegans try and scare people into not eating carnivore because they say that you're just masking the symptoms that you're having as a vegan, and that eventually you're going to have to, you won't be able to digest anything on the carnivore diet. I think that's complete BS. I'm a year in now. I have no issues digesting anything. The only problem is that when I overdo caffeine, it definitely gives me some sort of IBS symptoms. Really Organic says, Dr. Morris looks really unhealthy. Have you looked at him? Why do people follow those who are extremely sick? That is my, follow by example, follow by results. Dr. Morse does not look healthy. And even as a vegan, and I was wanting to follow his advice, I always question that in my head. I'm like, why does this guy look so sick? He looks sick. He's overweight. He just doesn't look good. He's always like snorting his mucus up in his nose and stuff like that. And he's got excuses for all of it, by the way. He's just like, if you guys had the stresses I had, if you guys had black FBI cars parked outside of your office every day, like you'd be eating, chips and salsa too, like me, and you'd be eating off the menu. And it's like, man, if eating fruit and oranges and grapes made you feel so amazing like you said that they did, then why wouldn't you just eat that all the time? Why would you feel the need for chips and other garbage foods? I don't even know if it's really clear if Dr. Morse is vegan or not. So I have no idea why people follow that guy, particularly vegans. It doesn't make any sense to me. Tank says there's something called liver flukes, and what came out of me was a lot of it. Whatever it was not undigested food. It only happened the first time I did the human worm cleanse, but it was definitely some kind of parasites 100%. So did you do it again and you didn't see the same stuff that came out? Carrie Weston says, it's funny how you talk about trying to gain weight. You realize 99% of the people don't want to gain weight. I do realize that. Some of us got the opposite issue. It's always been a challenge for me to gain weight, but I have figured out over the years how to gain weight. I've been 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. And I did that by eating, obviously, a surplus of calories. But the way that I did that was eating carbohydrates and fats and proteins. Basically, everything I can get my hands on. Yeah, I can get fat like anybody else. But I don't feel good. I don't feel good at all. And my performance doesn't go up nearly as much as you would think for that amount of weight. So it's not worth it. The pictures that people post in the forum for this product are definitely some kind of parasites. I'd say half and half. Half are parasites, half are undigested food. I'm just not convinced. I'm sorry, I'm just not convinced. Like, when I was researching this stuff, it just seemed a little coincidental that every single person had the same type of parasites coming out of their digestive tract. They were spreading them out on napkins and, saying these are worms, and the worms were like 18 inches long. I don't think so. Meat isn't terribly expensive in Sweden. I'm sure it's really high quality there, if I had to guess. You're very lucky. Yeah, Resting Bitch Face says caffeine is a diuretic. It'll rip a good gut apart. Agreed. Tank says, I would say it might have not been in the colon. Could have been somewhere else. I'm not sure where in the body. So somewhere in your digestive tract, obviously, if you're thinking that flukes were coming out from somewhere. But I don't know. I'm not convinced that the human body can be relatively healthy with all this crazy parasites that aren't supposed to be there inside of your body. It doesn't really make any sense. Emily says, have you all seen an interview with Dr. Greger addressing carnivore diet? It's a train wreck, almost as bad as McDougall. I've seen where he talks to the London Real guy. London Real. And because that guy's kind of like pro keto, pro carnivore at this point. He was vegan for a while, and he just said it wasn't performing for him. And of course, Dr. Greger gets on there and does his little song and dance promoting the vegan diet. Ridiculous. Dr. Greger just did a video about how the best source of caffeine is actually green tea because there's something in coffee besides caffeine that messes with health. Maybe it's the same with energy drinks. I don't know enough about the biochemistry of those things, but again, just a results-based approach, breaking it down, studying what I'm eating, paying attention to it. 1 cup is okay, 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups, 2 energy drinks, not okay. So I don't know exactly what the threshold is right now. I'd be happy if I can at least enjoy 1 cup a day. That would be nice because I do love coffee. I love everything about it. I drink black coffee, so, it's not something that I thought I was ever going to have to worry about, but apparently, yes, I will. Zombie says, I've been eating meat for 40 plus years. My digestion is regular as hell. It's like clockwork. Congratulations. That's amazing. A detox for life. T-Roz. You get it. You get it. Edamar says, Drew, do you digest certain beef cuts and ground beef differently? I notice I digest ground beef better. I'm a former vegan, almost 2 years, and now trying a carnivore type diet. Good question. Good question. I think that the way that we prepare food has a lot to do with the way that it digests. So ideally, you'd eat your meat raw, right? That would probably digest the best. But lately, I've been actually eating it even more cooked, and I still seem to be doing okay with it. So I like knowing that I can eat a wide variety of preparations and not have an issue with it. And when it comes to the ground beef and the standard steak or something like that, I don't notice them digesting any differently. They're both perfect for me. So like if I eat a burger with a bun, I have no issues. If I eat a steak and it's cooked fine, it's whatever. I guess I can eat it mostly raw or even pretty well done. I have no issues with it. I had a steak just before going on stream, and it honestly, it goes in and I just feel perfectly fine. So for me, there's no difference. Clown Mazard says, I had trouble gaining weight until I went plant-based. Now it's the opposite. Well, you guys saw that video of how fat my stomach was. I gained weight on a plant-based diet. I gained weight, especially when I was trying to. I was able to gain weight. It wasn't the kind of weight I wanted. It was just the softest, most gelatinous fat. It was like a baby fat, It's disgusting. Really Organic says, I've never been able to get on the parasite train all the way either. I don't think we're being as eaten alive as everyone says. I agree. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. Too much hocus pocus. I'm like the ground level factory farm. What does Drew Morg stand for? Basic bargain basement meat. Milk. Exercise. Excellent results. Just look at the results. I think most people would get the same results if they took a chill pill, ate the basics, did the basic shit, sleep 8 hours. You're good. You don't need to worry about the parasites. You don't need to worry about all the other stuff. It's just too complicating things too much. No offense to anybody out there, but I'm just saying that's my take on it. And that goes much further than just the parasite cleanses. There's so much other stuff out there. The meditation, the energy healing, the sound healing, all the shit. It's too much. It's too much. Haleman says, seen a lot of people waste away on a ketogenic carnivore diet, myself being one in the past, have had much more success eating a high protein and hypertrophy training rather than strength training. Good point. Yes, I agree with you on that. It's particularly the last part. I am now doing a 3-day-a-week split, full body workouts. I am focusing much more on volume for the hypertrophy rather than strength training. Because I went in there, I was just slamming the weights. I was doing like reps of 5. I was gaining strength like crazy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm on this meat thing. I'm indestructible. Yeah, but you don't get any bigger. And then eventually you accumulate injuries, which I'm dealing with one on my back right now. So now I'm just focusing on the form. I'm focusing on doing higher reps, getting the body to actually grow, and then stimulate the appetite as well. So then you eat more and you grow, you get bigger, and you don't waste away. So I agree with you, man. Planet Sleaze, I plateaued on my diet, went carnivore, eating whatever I felt like on the diet, and went from 157 to 140 in about 5 weeks. Yeah, definitely under eating. Growing old, not so gracefully. Do you have gray hair, Drew? I sure do. That's why I got the gray headphones. It matches. See, right here. I've got a lot on the side. I've got some sprinkled in the middle. I've got a couple in my beard as well. 34. I've been having gray hairs pop up in my side, on the side of my head for like 10 years now. But definitely in the past 2 years, it's like accelerated a decent amount. Tank says, I am 90-95% carnivore. I eat fruit or some kind of carbs before lifting. Yeah, that's a good way to go. I think that's what I'm going to eventually transition into. You know, when I first switched over, I was intermittent fasting, mostly carnivore, right? Now I'm like, I'm done with the intermittent fasting. I'm doing eggs in the morning for breakfast, so I'm on 3 meals a day now. I'm on the milk. I'm not worried about carbs so much. I still feel great. My performance is good and getting better. And I'm focusing on growing and getting bigger and just living the life that I want and having energy and everything else. I feel like I have a ton of energy. Energy has never been the problem for me until the last days of the vegan diet, when you would have those sugar crashes after eating my lunch smoothie, drink a big old smoothie, get all sugar high, eyes like an owl popping out of your head, and then you just crash in your chair and get all tired. That used to happen to me so much. I used to just fall asleep in my chair all the time. JG says, I used to watch him until his blood test results interpretation. He lost me. Who are you guys talking about? I'm curious about who you're talking about. Oh, Vegetable Police. That's an interesting guy, man. I don't know what his deal is. I haven't watched him in a long time. BG Holmes says, there's a wig on there. Own it. I'm rocking the wig? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, we'll move on from the parasites topic. The parasites topic is fascinating. It's like another subsection of the vegan thing. You're like, how does the world not know about this? How does yeah, it's just another distraction, man. It's just another distraction. BG Holmes, are you copying Harley with that hairdo? Absolutely. Harley, fashionable guy, good looking, great girlfriend, great sport, excellent human being. Harley is a model for me, personally, role model. Itamar Toribio says, I believe that I digest beef better when cooked medium to well done. Interesting. Not that my digestion is bad when I've cooked steaks medium rare, but I noticed a difference. So like I said, ideally you would digest rare steak perfectly fine, right? But in reality, I think it's actually a little different than that. I've noticed sometimes when I eat a rare steak, I actually can kind of get a stomachache. So I agree with you. Sometimes the more I cook it, actually the better I digest it. It's interesting. But hands down, my digestion is way better now than it ever was as a vegan. There's no argument there from me. Really Organic says, gray hair is some kind of copper imbalance. I have heard from several sources. I had a few gray hairs when I was 27. I have none now, and I'm 47. Copper imbalance, you say? Okay, well, my Cuban family, all the men have gray hair when they're like in their mid-20s. So I don't know about that. But I'll humor you. If you can figure out a way for me to get my copper balance, then I'll consider it. Yeah, why not? I would love to have a full black hair, dark brown hair again. That'd be cool. But honestly, I don't care about having gray hair anyway, so whatever. It's all good. Looks like a curling broom. It's growing on me already. Where'd you get that thing? Is BG Holmes a Durian Rider? Guys, do we have a famed Durian Rider troll account in the chat right now? Listen, man, you're not going to get this wig, the location of where I got this wig from me, okay? I'm going to keep that private. It's a custom order, first of all. It costs 3 Gs, and I'm not telling you where I got it. This is like when you get a custom necklace made for yourself, you don't share where you got it. You keep that shit to yourself. Harley is a douchebag Reuter. I love Harley. Bart, people were pretty into the idea of the debate, man. SPG rules, not really Drew. Not really Drew. Rare and raw is easiest to digest unless it's a lot of raw liver. Yeah, it can be easy to digest, but like I said, I've had it before where I ate the fairly raw steak and it didn't digest well. But then other times I've had it and it digested fine. I don't know. Fuck, health is complicated. Digestion is really complicated. It's kind of crazy. I don't work with just absolutes anymore. At one point, I believe that everybody could be optimally healthy as a vegan. I truly believe that was the way to go, even though I wasn't even showing optimal results in myself. Like, people can be easily brainwashed. It can happen to me as well. Now, I didn't think that for very long, and I broke out of it myself. There wasn't a whole lot of people leaving veganism when I decided to do it. Not to pat myself on the back there, but I mean, I lived in a vegan community and I still saw through the bullshit. Okay, pepper looks nice. All right. Really Organic says, maybe the Cuban diet is somehow high in copper. Well, they did eat a lot of beans and rice, so maybe there's some sort of copper binding going on there with the beans, the oxalates. I don't know. I will design your diet for 2 months, eat what I suggest, and your gray hair will go away. You won't be able to do it, though, because you can't eat out. Well, I don't eat out very often, to be honest with you. So that's not that hard for me to do, to be honest. I don't eat out at all, actually. Seeking truth in Christ. God bless. Raw dairy is superior to pasteurized dairy, but I do not advocate people drink raw dairy. Let me reread that. Raw dairy is superior to pasteurized dairy, but I do not advocate people to drink raw dairy. Why wouldn't you advocate that if it's better? Isn't that the whole point? To eat the best shit? Planetary Farms, yes, she collects the eggs all by herself, putting her to work. Ha ha ha. BG Holmes, send that to me, mate. I'll send you my new book of training secrets and a few. Okay. All right, now we're getting somewhere. BG Holmes. All right. I see you, buddy. I see you. You got it. All right, BG Holmes. Durian Rider. BG Holmes. Hey, I'm sending you the phone number. I need the pics. All right? Trust me, I won't share them with anybody. Send it to me in the DM on Instagram with the little deleting thing. Just me and you. Seeking truth in Christ. Genetics are influenced by our diet and environment. Epigenetics is a compelling science. I forgot what epigenetics is again. I got to read that. I got to read the definition. Edamar says something. Really Organic. If you make your own food in glass cookware and you go all organic, you can get rid of your gray hair, I'm sure. Check out my most popular video on the healthiest cookware, like 30,000 views. Huh. So you're saying that glass cookware is all it takes to get rid of gray hair. See, you see why I have to crack down on you guys? This is just out of control. Emily, no. You don't need to leave, Emily. It's not getting awkward. I'm just bantering with Duran Ryder in the audience here. He wants my wig. We're making an agreement here. It's a gentleman's agreement. Can I have a little fun here, okay? Can I have a little fun? Ooh, Jason Pizzino. Mate, eating 1.5 pounds of barbecued New York strip right now. Now, is that the Australian New York strip or is that the American New York strip? Because I know that they're different. And it's very confusing. Tribby says, maybe the copper thing is true. My cat's fur has more brown, coppery colors in her coat since I've been feeding her all raw meat. I thought she was an all gray black tabby cat. Really? I've also seen people's beard colors turn that copper color too, though. I wonder if they got an abundance of copper in their system. Interesting. And by the way, that person I'm thinking of was Hispanic, so they're probably on the beans too. See? You can't tell. It's just so complicated. So what, says Drew? Wait, you're Cuban? I had no idea. I'm half Cuban. Yes. Yes, I am a businessman, BG Holmes. I am a businessman. Exactly. This is real hair, guys. I mean, I know most of you knew this, but I'm being accused of having a hair piece. So this is the real deal, all right? Abdi Hirsi says, is carnivore diet safe for a long time? I believe so, and there's people doing it for a long time, and they're testing all of the health parameters, and they're checking out fine. So is it safe for you? I don't know, but we've seen it prove to be safe for quite a lot of people over the long term. Yes. Seeking Truth in Christ, $2 donation. Thank you very much. You've done your Sunday duties now. You're in church now. Welcome. I'm passing around the collection basket, and you threw in that $2. I appreciate that. Love it. Planet Sleaze. I spent $400 yesterday to find out my 14-year-old cat may or may not have an enlarged thyroid. So they told you maybe on the enlarged thyroid? That's a big waste of money. That sucks. I'm sorry about your cat. 14-year-old cat's lived a good life, you know? Just make him comfortable. Make sure he feels good. Feed him raw, you know? And yes, my mom is the Cuban one. Yeah, she's 100% Cuban. Real Organic's tripping on me. She says, no, it's not just the cookware. You got to go all organic and break your factory farm addiction. This stream is lit. You're doing good things to the world. Hey, don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the money, okay? Your participation means equally as much to me, if not more. Ooh. Oh, hold on. See, the money is flowing now. See, you said the money, and it's just flowing now. Emily's still here. She didn't leave. See, she couldn't leave. I knew she wouldn't go anywhere. Just because we're talking about the pics behind the scenes. Emily, I'm glad you stayed. You should look like Dr. Gregor by your age, bald and fertile. Yes, one can only hope. Vasectomy, right? Let's see. Let's read the super chats. Michael Bennett, my boy. Michael, by the way, I'm your second subscriber ever, okay? Unethical vegan, whole foods, plant-based vegan here. Yes, this guy, you guys, go check out Michael Bennett. He just recently went vegan, as far as I know. Dude is super, super strong. I checked out his channel. He's writing me a little bit of kind of crazy comments. I'm not sure if he's crazy yet, but he was writing me some crazy comments. However, as a fact, the guy is jacked out of his mind. Very strong guy. He says that he's going to eat a whole food plant-based diet with no supplements, and he's going to do that on he's going to bench press 500 pounds doing that. So that would be amazing. Everyone has their price. Yes. No, I got a price. I got a price, BG Holmes, of course. I'm all about the money. I'm a businessman, baby. How can we avoid gallstones and gallbladder issues? I think if you're not consuming, as long as you ease into the fat, so don't go crazy high fat at first. I wouldn't focus on ketogenic macros or anything like that. Give your digestive system some time to adjust to the high meat diet. If you're not having any issues at first, you'll probably be okay. But some people, they notice that they do have gallstones or gallbladder issues off the bat because their bile production is like shut down from 10 years of veganism or whatever, of low-fat veganism. So if you have been low-fat vegan for a very long period of time, you might want to ease into it. And I think you'll probably be all right. And long-term, I don't think you should have any issues. I think the only time you're going to have to worry about that is in the beginning. Or if you're eating too much oxalate-rich foods, like the spinach and all that stuff. I would be easy on the leafy greens. Planetary Farms, thanks for the free entertainment. Hey, you're welcome. That's all I aim here, guys. You guys see that I put the category of the streams. They're in entertainment category. See, I could be like these other fakers out here and putting it under education, health. No. This is for entertainment. We are learning some stuff. We have a wide breadth of topics to discuss here on this channel. We use real life experience to paint the picture. And we're just here to have some fun. And again, hopefully entertain you guys. Not everybody has HBO. You guys, some people want to be in the chat having a good time, conversing, talking about some health stuff, all that. BG Holmes, get on the real account. Why are you trying to fake me out? It's too easy to smoke out a fake Dirty Rider account. Hey, the money appears. Just stayed longer to hear your answer piece. Okay. Bye, Emily Moon. Good luck to you. Appreciate you. Seeking truth in Christ. So I am more willing to recommend cultured, pasteurized dairy like yogurt, kefir, quark, sour cream, etc. Got it. So you don't recommend the raw dairy, but you do recommend the pasteurized, cultured stuff. Okay. What makes you recommend that necessarily? And I do agree. I think that the cultured kefir is fantastic. It's pretty expensive, but it's good. JG with the big 5. A shout out to Roseanne's reality channel. She's an ex-vegan. Planetary Farms also has a channel. Planetary Farms has a channel? I didn't know that. We might have to do a little vegan, not vegan YouTube. We might have to do a little YouTube promoting here. You guys watch Frank Tufano's streams lately? Once again, I went into his channel, his stream the other day. I shouted him out. I tried to reach out to him. People are saying hi to me in the chat, like every other time. And the dude reads right past my comments every time. 0 acknowledgement. 0. What's with that guy? Like, I don't take it offensive or personal that he ignores me, but I find it weird. Let's see. Clown Mazard. Use it or lose it. If you want to have a gallbladder problems, go low fat and you can kiss your gallbladder goodbye. See, you're in agreement. Perfect. But if you already have problems with the gallbladder, it's hard to repair. Again, I'll retell the story. Megan Elizabeth, she had gallbladder issues when she first went back to the animal foods. 10-year low-fat vegan. She eventually cured the problem though. I think it took about 6 months to just adapt, and then it was fine. Tribby wants to vote yes to this copper experiment. You must eat liver too. Well, what's the experiment? I'm cooking in glassware, which is okay. I'm already calling BS on this hocus pocus. Whatever. So I could see it like being an oxalate thing, like some chemicals binding to it, but like, come on. The cookware? The copper? If all I had to do was take like a copper supplement, I would consider this. Abdi Hirsi says, thank Mr. Drew Morg for knowledge and integrity. Integrity is number 1 around here. I do not lie. Okay? I tell the fucking truth about everything. I may not be right 100% of the time. I do my best. But I'm not here to lie. I'm not here to like push some angle of the agenda. I'm here to take in all the information, experiment with it on my own, give you the results. Okay? There's no, like, you want to know my weight, you want to know my height, you want to see my gray hairs, we could talk about it. I'm not here to freaking BS. I got nothing to gain by doing that. Although, I probably could make a boatload of money if I just like kept claiming veganism and got a bunch of sponsors or some dumb shit. Haleman says, why do you think people fell into veganism? Is it a part of their spiritual journey? Oh, man. Yes, it is part of people's spiritual journey. It's part of my spiritual journey for sure. I thought that I was making some kind of difference a little bit. I went vegan for health reasons, but because it kind of makes you feel euphoric and you're like this part of this new community, and the community appears to be angelic and holier than thou, and they promote saving the animals and the environment, and it appears to be this kind of like good thing. It does make you feel like you're on some next level thing, but it's bogus, man. It's BS. But I think that's part of the spiritual journey, because you realize you come back around full circle and you're like, you know what? I was fine before going vegan. And then you actually gain even more confidence and more self-love and all that stuff. So in that respect, it's a huge part of the spiritual journey when you come back around full circle. Growing Old Not So Gracefully says, yes, if you're opposed to raw dairy, there are decent, not ultra-pasteurized dairy products you can buy at health food stores. Yes, exactly. Like I drink a brand called Strauss. It's here in California. And it's lightly pasteurized. And they specifically leave the cream on top, and they say that it leaves most of the living bacteria. You know, hey, it's less than half the price of the raw dairy. It's what I can afford, so that's what I get. Hail, man, it's all spiritual. Yes, sir. Pasteurization wrecks milk cultures and damages carsons. If your dairy is cultured, there's zero reason for pasteurizing. You're the resident dairy expert here, so I appreciate your input. Haleman says, Frank ignores his community and other carnivore channels because he wants to be number one. 100%, dude. That's what I get from that guy. You know, I hate to just go off on a tangent and talk crap on Frank here. I don't know the guy personally, but I find it weird that, you know, he also talks about negativity. He's like, yeah, there's been an excessive amount of negativity from the vegans lately. He's like disconnected from the content he actually puts out and the message he puts out to the world. All he does is shit-talking vegan channels. And he wonders why he gets vegan negativity? The hell are you talking about, dude? That's like a mental personality disorder or something like that. And yeah, he does ignore other carnivore channels. He constantly shit-talks Paul Saladino. Paul Saladino probably doesn't even know who Frank Tufano is. And Frank Tufano's out here talking crap on a guy that he claims stole information from him. Like, dude, it's the internet. Where did you learn that information, Frank? You Googled shit. Frank Saladino's a doctor. So he's way more versed in like the super technical biochemical level stuff than Frank is. I don't know why he thinks that Saladino got his information from him. It's weird. JG Lee says, yes, he'll ignore you because you're of no use to him. See, that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I may not do the big numbers that a lot of these guys do, but my average view time is probably 4 or 5 times bigger than theirs. My average minutes viewed is 16 minutes per stream. That's a lot. For 3 hours, 16 minutes is the average. It's pretty good. I doubt Frank's is that high. Jason Pizzino agrees. He says 100% regarding the spiritual journey. I feel the same. And when it comes full circle, you get more confidence. Exactly. Because you realize you truly were good enough all along. You truly were on the right path all along. You don't blame yourself necessarily for going vegan. You know, maybe we have a couple of regrets, right? I mean, I know my teeth, I wish I could get that back. But, you know, it's unfortunate that there's some things we can't get back. My ankle, for instance, I got a really bad ankle sprain in Hawaii. Did not heal correctly. I do blame the vegan diet for that. I blame the vegan diet for sure for my teeth. But I'm glad that I'm back. I do feel great now. People are happy to see me back. They tell me I look good. Family members and friends, I mean, people who knew me as a vegan, they saw me transition and get all kind of like bug-eyed and shit like that. BG Home says, I'm saving the planet for your children. Don't hate on a good vegan. I'm transparent AF, like when I told you I wanted that rug. You're transparent. I think you should reveal your identity. Hellman, no, the proteins, carbohydrates, and fats are altered during pasteurization, even if you do repopulate it with bacteria. Okay. Again, this is another theory that I'm not super down with, is the whole, you know, what do you call it? Like the reconfiguring or whatever they call it. Don Bennett does a video on this. The denaturization. That's the word that they use. The denaturization. See, we eat cooked meat, right? And it doesn't seem to do that bad. So why would the cooking or the quick heating of the milk change the chemical structure of it? Do we have evidence of that? What's the result when we actually consume it? Is it that much different? Eli says, Michael Bennett, are you raw vegan? How long have you been doing that? I've never felt worse personally than when I did it for a month or so. Yeah, I'm also wondering how long he's been vegan as well. He claims to be still very strong, but I'm not sure that the dude might be trolling, to be honest with you. You still driving a car and trying to impress people who don't matter, mate? I bet you are. Red pill stat. I wish I knew if this was during Reddit or not, because I would talk to him differently. Hey man, I'm not against red pill stuff. I'm not against all that stuff. I think a lot of the information is good. I love cars personally. Personally, I love driving cars. It ain't to impress anybody. I actually fully recognize that you look like a douchebag most of the time when you try and impress people with your things that you own. But I love cars for me. Like, so I've always been that way. I've always loved cars. I've always loved fast things. I had a motorcycle. I've had cool cars. My dad recently bought a Porsche. It's fun to drive, you know. Really organic. Recently, I have been arriving at the conclusion that dairy may have to be fermented, at least unless you can get A1 dairy. I haven't found good dairy and variety of foods in my location yet. Really organic. They're not your friends. Trust me. If you died and your body was put into a cow pasture, they would be nibbling on your ass too. Just remember that. I guess you're not familiar with how the medical community works. What do you mean? You'll do big numbers if you committed. What are you guys talking about? Committed to what? Are you talking to me? Itamar, stepped away for a second. Did you answer my question about Frank? I don't think I saw your question about Frank. You should ask again. Make sure you guys are adding me, tagging me when you guys ask me something, because it's hard to see sometimes. Yeah, the views and the numbers, man. Obviously, like, hey, this is YouTube. People are here to make a living. People are here to make money. Some people are really here to make money, and they go all out, and they just have no time for anything else. I want to build a community. I want to build a group of people who trust what I say, because my actions are consistent over time. The way that I break things down and look at the big picture, I want that to be valuable to people who don't maybe have the same time resources as I do, and the same ability to research things as I do, and the same connections that I do, talking to certain people. So I want to bridge the gap of information for people, get that good information to people faster. And I want it to be trustworthy. Wild Style says, what happened to your teeth? I got around the gum line, the top of the gum line, I got a lot of enamel erosion from consuming oranges and other acidic fruits and just sugars in general. There was no way to stop it. Even swishing water through my teeth, brushing 45 minutes after I ate, it did not matter. It did not matter. I had a lot of issues. I had 4 cavities as a vegan within the first year and a half. My molars ground down significantly as a vegan. A lot of things happened with my teeth. Very unfortunate. I had perfect teeth before going vegan. Okay, I'm going to start. So you guys are saying that the heat destroys the enzymes and the bacteria in the milk, and that can make it easier to digest. Yeah. I'm not arguing about the bacteria enzymes thing. That does actually pan out and make sense. Even you can test it. You go drink raw milk, go drink ultra pasteurized milk. Ultra pasteurized milk makes me so constipated. It's like, yeah, it's a horror story. But on the other hand, I don't know about the whole denaturing of the proteins and the carbohydrates. I think that would happen to all food in that case. And yet we are fine eating and cooking other foods. So that doesn't make sense to me. Civil Serpent says, that can't be Durin Rider. This guy doesn't spell like a retard. It is him. See, he popped up on the real account, Durin Rider Cycling Tips. I don't have any sock accounts on YouTube. Okay. Wow. I scrolled down and then I lost my place. Clown Bazaar. People fall into veganism because it sounds good on paper and all vegan arguments make sense. That's true. They do make sense. Like I say, intelligent, compassionate people go vegan. Stupid people stay vegan. Ignorant people stay vegan. Okay? Don't feel bad that you went vegan. Feel bad that you're staying vegan after the abundance of negative health effects that you feel and the negative health of the people around you that you feel or see. Vegans have explanation for everything. Also, there's a ton of weak science supporting it as well. Clown Bazaar, fucking God, you're good, man. You are good. Jesus, you're doing the Lord's work out there. I don't even need to respond to these people sometimes. Michael Bennett says, I have been doing about 95.5% whole food plant-based diet, but even that doesn't tell me what you're actually eating. Correct. That doesn't tell anybody what you're actually eating, because if the other 5% is top sirloin steak, that is a big difference in terms of your long-term health. People can see my performance potential through my cycling shorts, mate. We can't take our toys to the grave. Hey, Durin Rider, I'm with you, man. Your legs look fantastic. You're on the juice, so you're looking pretty good out there. Recently, though, I'm a little unimpressed with the upper body development. What's going on? You're slacking, though, dude. If you're on the gear, you better have some cuts. You better have some serious cuts on the top part, all right? If you're not putting Drew Morg to shame here, then the gear, you need to up the dosage, bro. Or come eat my diet. Come eat my diet and watch what happens to you. Really Organic says, my dad and my granddad were centerfold of Hot Rod magazine in the 70s and another magazine too. My dad had an old Corvette and also a Willys. My granddad raced funny cars. Hell yeah, that's tight. Funny cars are tight. I love Corvettes. Yeah, I do. My dad and I have been getting into cars a lot more lately, so we've been like researching not old cars, but let's call them like modern classics. So he just picked up a cool Porsche with a lot of my research and stuff like that. So yeah, we're very happy to be getting into this hobby. Did you see the video when Brian Turner walks into his yard and there's chickens? No, I didn't see that. That's funny though. Oh my God, you are really building community. Rock on. Seriously, this is really important. I'm happy to be here. Awesome. Yes. I'm happy to be building the community. Like I told Bobby today, I think the channels like mine need to exist because one of us eventually, it might be Sean Baker, it might be a guy who's bigger than me, but one of us eventually is going to become the face of the meat rights movement. Because the vegans are getting organized. People like plant-based Earthling Ed or whatever, these guys are well-funded, they're well-organized. They are going to be going after our food supply very soon here. Hellman says, the difference is we evolved to eat cooked meat. Cooked dairy is a new thing to which we probably haven't adapted. My theory. That's a good theory. I like that. Haven't thought of that. That's good. I like that. But again, I don't think it requires a theory. I don't think it requires, how do you call it? Adaptation to be able to consume something something with which is not destroyed. We may have evolved to eat cooked meat, but whether it's cooked or raw, it still has those ingredients in it. We know that the fire process isn't denaturing it to the point where it's no good to eat. I don't think that chemically cooking the milk changes the protein, carbs, or fat source that significantly. That's all I'm saying. Could be wrong. I like your theory, and I like the dialogue. Durin Rider has trolls of him in my channel. I love this. Cavities can happen on anyone. Look how many raw meat eaters have had no teeth or bad teeth. I don't know of any that have had that. Who's had that? How many raw meat eaters have gotten teeth yanked? Whereas like Tommy Kelly, Tofu Tommy, sent me pictures this morning of his teeth that he got pulled as a vegan. So, no good. Going to any dentist and ask how many vegans in the waiting room. That's not a good argument, dude. That's not a good argument. Even as a vegan, when I heard you use those arguments, I was like, Durin Rider, doesn't know shit about debating. These are not good excuses. You can't. That doesn't have any bearing on whether or not veganism is worse. I mean, there's very few vegans in the population to begin with. So what can we say there? All dairy in Australia is grass-fed. That's nice. Why do dogs and cats have dentists? Because they eat not natural food, probably. Like dogs eat dog food. That's not raw food. Have you ever seen a dog that eats raw food? Their teeth are beautifully gleaming white. Very healthy. It's extremely noticeable compared to a dog that eats kibble. Very noticeable. I've had dogs my whole life. Really Organic says, I had a bunch of enamel erosion around the gum line too. It was a lifetime of chocolate. My family would all go get tons of chocolate, sit there and eat it. It was like a ritual. Yeah, exactly. You eat a bunch of sugar and it wrecks your gum line. I already said I drank a lot of water during Rider. It did not help. I wonder if he read the past comments. I'm not sure. I'm like, Durin Rider. Got it. Yeah, Durin Rider. We've got some hornballs for you, man. Natasha's got some competition. Tribby has the enamel erosion too. Yeah, Ted Carr has a really, really bad enamel erosion. I was sent his pictures today, and I'd like to share that actually, because Ted will tell you that his teeth are perfect and he has no issues. And this isn't a dig at Ted, but that's just incorrect. I want to pull that up actually. Hang on one second. I shared this in Bobby's stream. Credit to Gung Fu for finding this picture for me, by the way. So that picture shows Ted, and I'll pull it up on my computer here. So, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about here. See right here, guys? The tooth is gone here. See where my cursor is right there? See how worn down that top part of the tooth is? That tooth is gone. That's what I'm talking about with enamel erosion. Okay? So that's what I mean when I'm talking about tooth decay, and vegans cannot deny that. That is something that vegans are showing time and time again. Tofu Tommy, the anorexic guy, low testosterone will destroy your teeth. Yeah, but veganism is what got him there, and he's already gaining strength and size back doing what he's doing now. So, I don't know. It's a little bit of an unfair little bit of unfair comparison there. Kick the durian troll. Keep you? Okay, got it. A nice Planetary Farms. Replacing the motors. Love it. Tanks. Wish there was less drama in the carnivore community. Need to stick together. It's so important in this vegan climate. Yes, I love the terminology, the vegan climate. I think there is a lot. I don't think there's very much drama in the carnivore community. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The vegan community was toxic. First of all, we had Durian Rider getting accused of all kinds of things from the chicks at the festivals. We had you get all the juice fasting guru weirdos that are just making shit up. It's insane. So Durian Rider says, dogs eat raw meat. They can still have teeth issues. If the argument is meat equals strong teeth, then only vegan dogs would have issues, right? How do you know that? Wait. How do you know any dogs personally that eat a 100% raw meat diet that have teeth issues? Because I don't know any dogs that have tooth issues with a raw meat diet, because I don't know that many dogs that are eating raw meat. I doubt you do either. There's just no way. Hard brushing destroys the gum line. That's why the gum line is worse in some areas of the mouth versus others. If sugar was the cause or acid was the cause, it would be all... Yeah, but you know what? At some point, you have gunk on your teeth that needs to come off, and the only way to get it off is to brush it. So you're saying, okay, leave the plaque on there? It doesn't make any sense. Or the mineral deposits or whatever it is. Yeah, we got some bids for you, Durian Rider. This is a carnivore-centric channel, but I mean, we got females in the audience that are for Natasha, females in the audience for you. It is out of control here. Durian Rider says, Tofu Tommy had an eating disorder, man. Not a fair example to use. It is like using KFC eaters as an example of my temp. Okay. I'm with you on the KFC example, but Tofu Tommy ate a shitload of food, man. Have you seen his meal portions? They are huge. He sent me a picture of a meal that he was eating with chicken in it, and the plate was literally was huge. And I said, dude, you're eating vegan portions. He's like, I know, I can't stop. I'm used to it. That's how he ate. That's how he ate. He's told me how many calories he ate before, and he was eating a significant amount of calories. Durian Rider also says kibble is bad for teeth, but doesn't meat make teeth strong and prevent cavities? Meat does, and kibble is bad for teeth. Yes. We're both in agreement? So yeah, so you don't know any dogs that eat only raw meat. I do. I personally, been around dogs that eat all raw meat, and their teeth are extremely clean, extremely white, very healthy mouth. That's for sure. Now, other things can still happen to these dogs. You can still get certain things wrong with them. It's not going to make them freaking Superman. Could still be weak genetically in certain areas, certain anomalies. Some dogs have floppy ears and fur in their ears, and they get ear infections, and some dogs have hip issues. And yeah, Anders, that's the same same spot that deteriorated on me after being vegan for 10 years. Yep. I got a bonding on that exact tooth that he has. And it was just so weak and small in that area. It was terrible. Durian Rider says, I made the vegan scene toxic because I flashed too much cash and attracted a bunch of narcissists. You're not the narcissist, though. I believe it. You did flash too much cash. You tried to get everybody to come over and start YouTube channels and become big time, and they did. They listened to you. Okay, I'm trying to keep up with the chatsies here. Uh-oh. We got some fighting words from Hellman? Wild Style says. Let's see. What did Hellman say? Oh, God, he deleted it. No. Don't talk shit and then delete it. Come on. I was about to read it. At fake Durian Rider. That's the real Durian Rider. Really Organic says, your stream is an online dating app tonight for Durian Rider and Natasha. No, but seriously, they are indeed a beautiful couple, and I wish them a lifetime of success. Do you really? Do you really? I don't know about that. Civil Serp says, Really Organic's a sharer. Hey. Durian Rider's got he's got a mill in the bank, man. He's got a hot new haircut. He obviously performs all around, right? Anorexics on any diet are going to be bad examples, man. Tofu Tommy has mental health issues. Who knows what that dude is doing behind the scenes? I don't know. I don't think you know either, though. It's hard to peg people for that. See, we should be careful, especially if we know that somebody's on the edge. They got mental health issues. You know? I don't know if it's a good idea to be like provoking them. I know it's the internet. You got to have thick skin and whatnot, and he's a social figure. Anyway. People are letting you know all kibble's bad, and a story. It's full of wood salts and chemicals. It's absolute garbage. Yeah. All dogs that I've had in my lifetime that ate kibble for their whole lives, they always had like a little bit of gunk around their gum line. The teeth got a little bit, discolored, let's say, around the gum line. There was always some little like, they were just never like perfect sharp wolf teeth. But the dogs that I see that eat pure meat diets, they do have those like sharp, clean white canines. They're beautiful. Okay, so Durian Rider says, so if kibble kills teeth, then why can't you feed the dog meat and kibble? It is the absence of a trigger versus the raw meat. You can't feed a dog raw meat and kibble at the same time, allegedly, because they digest at different times and they can mess the dog's digestive system up. It has nothing to do with their teeth. So it's not like they're missing nutrition from the raw meat. They're allegedly getting the nutrition that they need for a healthy body, but the kibble, probably due to its hardness and whatever else is in it, the binding agents and all the other bullshit that's in it, is giving them some sort of weird stuff on their teeth and not allowing them to have perfect teeth. And that's just my theory. I'm not an expert on that. All I can tell you is that sugars are known to not be good for teeth. Acids are known to not be good for teeth. Guess what? Fruit is both of those things most of the time. So, yeah. Don't be trying to drive me off into the weeds, bro, okay? I know your game. Lulzy says, hey, Drew, I finally accidentally caught one of your streams. Yes. Welcome to the stream. We got Durian Rider in here. Bart K's floating around. Haleman's in here. We got some creators up in here. Durian Rider's Thailand Hollywood smile is quite nice. Oh, Hellman he called him the P word. Okay. He's not, though. That's confirmed he's not. You could say other accusations about Durian Rider, but that one is not true. I mean, that's not even accused. We should hold the goddamn court up in here. How many viewers would that get? I'll be the judge. Sounds fun. Damn, Hellman. Hellman wants beef with Durian Rider. Why do you hate Durian Rider so much? He's like the only cool vegan. Real Organic says, I wish we could all get what we needed nutrition-wise from food, but we have depleted the soil and the land is monocropped and our food is old and packaged. We must supplement? Question mark? I don't think so. I don't think we need to supplement. I really don't. If we're eating the right stuff. Ooh, bananas versus bacon. The Baconator, Clayton Kloppenborg. Thanks for checking in today. The Durin Rider Primal Edge show was pretty legendary. Yeah, a lot of people chimed in on that one, and they said that Durin Rider won the debate. It wasn't even a debate. They said that Durin Rider made us look like fools. Probably a Durin Rider fake account. Let's be honest here, but hey, you know, we can all play the game here. I welcome it. I openly admit to loving Durin Rider. There's nothing that can change that. Well, pretty much nothing. Durin Rider says, I've dealt with a lot of people the last 23 years as a coach. People with mental health issues are best not used as a good example. Well, he's just one example. Tofu Tommy is one example. Like, just add it to the list. I've got dozens of examples. People I know personally in real life, people without eating disorders or mental health issues. So, hey, you know what I'm saying? Kibble causes issues because it sticks to teeth. Agreed. Raw meat doesn't stick. Agreed. Raw meat isn't the reason teeth are strong. LOL. It is the dental hygiene. No. If you are drinking a smoothie and that smoothie is wrought with sugar and it takes you an hour or two to drink that big ass smoothie like it used to take me, that is sitting on your teeth day after day. You eat that smoothie every day. Sugar, bacteria, acid. That is what fucks the teeth up. Okay? There's no debating this. Really Organic says, Haleman called Durin Rider a P word, and I don't think we should talk about that topic here so we don't get flagged. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. We're not trying to get flagged in the chat. And yeah, that's good. That's fine. Okay. I can respect that. Durin Rider's not triggered by raw meat, guys. He dumpster dives for his cats and feeds them raw meat. He said so. Oh yeah, he just said that. There you go. Planetary Farm says, yesterday I work with a lady that has her own raw food company in Oregon. And you're right on the digestion aspect. I saw many dogs heal on a raw meat diet. Yeah, exactly. I've heard other trainers say that on YouTube. I don't know if that's 100% true. I've also heard of other people saying you can supplement meat sometimes with kibble. I'm not sure. And I know that some dogs are just sensitive, you know, like my Rottweiler has pretty bad digestion, to be honest with you, and he's on all kibble. I do feed him little pieces of meat, but there's no way that is affecting his giant digestive tract. That dog is huge. Really Organic says, Drew, at first when you went carnivore, you seemed angry sometimes, but you are so even now. I know you're on the right track in some ways. If you went all organic, you might... Oh my God. The all organic... I can't deal with you. Listen. We're never going fully organic. We're not meditating. We're not levitating. We're not using glassware, okay? I'm using plastic straws. I'm going to Arby's. I'm eating factory farm meat. Okay? I want to live a normal life. And I'm happy to say that is the case for the most part. I already don't take protein powders. I'm sure you would be on another level if I was eating whey protein powders. All right? We don't do that. Is this like some Aussie on Aussie hate here from Haleman and Durin Rider? Epstein goes to prison, but Durin Rider walks free. Man, I have some powerful connections. Oh man, funniest vegan on YouTube, guys. You got to give it to him. Some of his arguments are absolute shit, but some of them are hilarious. That one, hilarious. Yo, Durin Rider, you see that guy who's trying to get my hairpiece off me? He was trying to get my my connects. Oh man, it's freaking out of control up in here. Meat and dairy are grown on pasture, sequesters carbon. What? Ooh, that's way above my head. Phytic acid and oxalate steal minerals from your teeth, causing more tooth decay. Again, Durin, this is what you promote to your clients. Agreed. Durin Rider, I believe his health advice or his food advice is incorrect a lot of times. Why don't you feed the doggy raw meat? That's a good question, because he's a 130-pound Rottweiler, and it would literally cost $600 a month to feed him raw meat. You're not getting free meat from any butchers around here. You pull up and you're like, hey, you got any extra meat? They're like, fuck off. We'll charge you $6 a pound. Just like everybody else. I live in Orange County, California. Nobody's giving anything away for free here. You got people paying $15,000 a month for the rent on their butcher, you know? Ain't nothing free here. Lolsey says, do you think a low-carb keto diet can help for performance in road cycling triathlons? That's another good question. I don't know. There's people out there doing it. I know that Zach Bitter is a carnivore athlete that runs ultra marathons. I think at the end of the day, what it comes down to for endurance/explosive activities, you're going to need carbohydrates. Pretty sure. I know for sure that when I eat carbohydrates, I get a little more pump in my muscles when I'm at the gym. And, I think carbohydrates have their place in performance sports, for sure. I don't know if they have their place for health reasons, but they can be a good supplement in terms of health, performance. Honest AF, Durin Rider doesn't have fake teeth. Go F yourself. Love it. I love the arguments, guys. Love it. Keep the hate flowing. Durin Rider uses a wig made of cat fur? Wow, that's very forward thinking. Carrie says, when somebody has narcissistic personality disorder, whatever they accuse other people of doing, they're guilty of 10 times. All right, let's branch off into this narcissistic personality disorder. Everybody thinks everybody's a narcissist lately. So does that really mean everybody's a narcissist, or is that just how people are? Because in my experience in life, anybody who kind of like accuses people of things, typically they are that thing. And I don't necessarily think everybody's a narcissist, but that is definitely something people do. Projection. That is definitely something people do. In before sugar makes you fat. Why do I look like this? Oh yeah, that's a classic. Lolsey, you're welcome here. You know the Durin Rider arguments. Zach is fueled on sugar. Watch his marathon live stream. He was guzzling sugar drinks. Okay, then hey, no argument from me here. Dairy seems to be the best carb. I like that idea. I'm experimenting with that right now. I'm drinking about 4 cups. I'm drinking about 4 cups of milk a day. Whole milk. And yeah, honey could be another good one, but I'm also kind of scared of the acid effect ruining the teeth. The stream is buffering. I think that might be you. Maybe refresh. Not sure what happened to Haleman. Is he out? He's still here. It's buffering for you guys. Make sure you guys refresh. If you guys are getting a... I do have the stream set to low latency, so sometimes it bugs out with... Oh, yeah, Primal Edge is on too. Yep. Yeah, you know what? We'll probably cut a little early here, guys, because I'm going to head over to Primal Edge, show him a little support. He actually changed his the time he was going to do his stream to a little bit later so that we didn't interfere. And I know some of you guys probably want to hop over there. So why don't we just go ahead and end it here? We went like 2 hours and 10 minutes, and we had a good show. Next time we may do the Durin Rider debate. We'll figure this out. All right, guys. End it. Darren says end it. You got it, buddy. We're going to do that. All right, I'm heading over to Primal Edge Health's channel. Duran Rider will debate anyone. And guys, thanks again for all the support again today. It was great and appreciate it. Hellman, good to see you here, buddy. Lolzy, thank you to the stream. First time here. Love it. And we'll see you all later. Appreciate it. Peace.